Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Mahundi, and I'm going to present understanding mental health and coping strategies. We'll dive into defining mental health. Mental health is a state of well-being, not just the absence of illness. So whether someone is in a good state of mind or in a bad state of mind, we call it mental health. So the overview, we're going to look at the sources of stress, effects, coping strategies, and their effectiveness. So what is stress? Stress occurs when demand exceeds the ability to cope. And the categories of stressors can differ. Some stresses, they come from work, some they come from school, and some they come from personal life. So in work and education, workload, deadlines, exams can cause a lot of stress. And why? Because someone will be having lack of control, and there can be conflicts, especially at work, if someone does not have the capacity to say no to certain workloads or other commitments. They cannot say no to their superiors. So in personal relationships, there can be breakups in relationships, and there can be bereavements, family issues, loneliness, and also life changes. This can cause a lot of stress. And also financial and environmental stress, which is caused by money worries due to joblessness, or money that is not enough when someone is not getting enough money to sustain themselves, housing needs, for housing needs, and also safety concerns, and also global uncertainty like inflation. It can cause money worries. So stress can also be internal, like if there are people who are called perfectionists. Perfectionism can cause internal mental, it can destroy mental health internally. Also expectations, like someone has high expectations, maybe they were expecting to be promoted, and if they are not, it can cause a lot of mental health issues. Negative self-talk, and also fear of failure. So we'll look at the effects of stress. There is short-term fight or flight works. Chronic stress is also harmful. So there is stress that is short-term, and there is stress that is also long-term. Others, they can do the fight or flight. They can just react through anger, and this results in headaches, tension, fatigue, sleep problems, compromised immune system, heightened rate of heart disease, and hypertension. And also effects of stress can be psychological and emotional, leading to anxiety, irritability. Like a little thing, someone can just be angry when something small is said to them. And also low mood, difficult focusing, memory issues, being forgetful, and also poor self-esteem, incidents of depression, anxiety, and anxiety disorders. And the effects of stress can be behavioral, which can be seen. You see someone withdraws from other people, anger outbursts, changes in appetite, reliance on unhealthy habits like overeating, not eating a balanced diet, for example. Someone can resort to only eating biscuits because they make them happy. Problem focused strategies. You can have an aim to solve the stressor through time management, planning. You break down, like putting your work into schedules so that you don't do it all at once. and the results can be high effective, creating control. It prevents overload, problem solving and negotiation. It defines needs and identifies problems, and it creates solutions rather than ignoring the problem. But if you address the problem, you can define it and it can be dealt with. And if it's the root cause is addressed, it works when possible, when change is possible. Or some other root cause, they are traced to childhood. So these they need to be addressed and to be dealt with. So also setting boundaries, like we previously said, to saying no if you can't do something, learning to say no. And it's effective because it prevents burnout, especially when someone is at work. And it can, though it can be difficult to do so. Then assessment, the best strategy when what happens in a situation is something you can control, especially in relationships, especially in someone's personal life. Then health strategies, like doing different activities. You can be someone who likes leisure. You can go to play soccer, go to the gym, and some they go to church for in social gatherings. It can help also, and because it's effective, it releases endorphins and burn tensions and helps sleep. Social support, as we have already discussed, and cognitive reframing, changing thoughts into balanced ones, thinking positively, and effectiveness. Directors of stressors take practice in time but leads to permanent mindset modification. Unhealthy strategies are very, very dangerous because they can worsen the situation. So we should avoid things like alcohol and drugs, and also overworking. Effectiveness, if these things are used, it can be ineffective and can be very harmful. It gives a short-term relief, but it gives a long-term damage on the mental health. So in conclusion, stress emanates from outside, both inside and outside, and stress impacts our bodies, how we feel and how we behave. Coping with stress is partly problem solving and partly processing our feelings. So we should avoid habits that make stress to become worse. Mental health is as important as physical health, and if stress seems to be too big to cope with, asking for professional help is one of the best ways to address it. This is the end of my presentation.